The town was burning when I left it. I never looked back at the glow. My hands are clean enough by morning, but clean enough still ain't clean. Lord knows. I rode out through the mesquite shadows. The desert took me like it takes them all. No moon, no name, no soul to witness. Just a man in the road and the long way to fall. I told myself I wasn't running. I told myself this was just time. But the smoke behind me kept on rising. And a man don't ride at night unless he leaves something behind. I left the fire, but I carried the smoke. Every road I ride just makes me more broke. No town ahead gonna say what's behind. I'm outlawed to myself and losing my mind. The desert don't judge and it don't forgive. It just watches you pass and it lets you live. I'm riding the outlaw trail, where the dark comes down and the cold winds wail. No grave behind me, none ahead. Just a living man who feels half dead, riding the outlaw trail. Past a church house before the sunrise. The bell was rusted shut and still. I thought about stopping, thought about kneeling, but a man like me don't pray, he just rides until. The desert don't judge and it don't forgive. It just watches you pass and it lets you live. I'm riding the outlaw trail, where the dark comes down and the cold winds wail. No grave behind me, none ahead. Just a living man who feels half dead, riding the outlaw trail. I don't know what I was back there. I just know I was something I can't be again. And the road ahead is long and empty, and I am grateful for that. God help me, I'm grateful for that. Comes down and the cold winds wail. No grave behind me, none ahead. Just a living man who feels half dead, still riding the outlaw trail. The smoke is somewhere behind me now. I can't smell it anymore. That's the worst part. Three days out, and the road all looks the same. My eyes are burning, and I forgot my name. I've been running from the choices that I made. I've been running from the debts I never paid. I've been running from the faces in my sleep, from the promises I made and couldn't keep. I thought the miles would bury what I'd done, thought the desert heat would dry it in the sun. But the past don't die and it don't need to breathe. It just follows in the dark behind the trees. There ain't no grave deep enough to hold what I'd done. My sins ride the wind, they outrun the sun. I dug down deep, but the earth gave it back. Some things you bury just find their way back. I ain't looking for forgiveness anymore. I stopped knocking on that particular door. No grave deep enough, no road long enough, no bottle deep enough to drown this stuff. I carry every mile I ever ran, the weight of what I was and what I am. No grave deep enough. I seen the way good men get worn to bone by the things they did when no one was alone. I used to think that I was different from those men, Lord. I used to think a lot of things back then. I ain't looking for forgiveness anymore. I stopped knocking on that particular door. No grave deep enough, no road long enough, no bottle deep enough to drown this stuff. I carry every mile I ever ran, the weight of what I was and what I am. No grave deep enough. Because that man is always you. That man is always me. No grave deep enough. The clock struck 12 somewhere I couldn't see. The fog came up around the knees. stopped my horse at the four-way crossing. The dirt road cut both ways into the black. I didn't plan to stop, I didn't plan to wait, but something in me said don't ride on back. The air got still the way a held breath does, the kind of still that has a weight behind it. I felt it on the back of my neck first, the way you feel a thing before you find it. The fog rolled in and the clock rolled back. Something though walked out from the black. Didn't speak, didn't breathe, didn't make a sound. Just stood there where the four roads found the ground. I wasn't afraid, and that was the strange part. A man should be afraid at a time like this. Midnight at the crossroads, where the four roads meet the dark. Midnight at the crossroads, standing still inside the heart. Something at the crossroads, standing where the old pack starts. It had no face that I could make out clearly. It had no shape the eyes could hold for long. But there was something in the space it left behind it, a weight, a pull like belonging somewhere wrong. I wasn't afraid, and that was the strange part. A man should be afraid at a time like this. Midnight at the crossroads, where the four roads meet the dark. Midnight at the crossroads, standing still inside the heart. Something at the crossroads, standing where the old pack starts. I've been broken my whole life. I've been afraid my whole life. I'm standing at that crossroads in the dark. I felt something leave me, the last piece of fear I had left just went. And then I opened my mouth and I spoke first. Crossroads, where the four roads meet the dark. Midnight at the crossroads, where the old pack's right there marked. Something at the crossroads, tearing out the hardest part. pressed my hand down on the crossroads dirt. Blood ran black in the fog, in the dark. No thunder, no lightning, no voice from the sky. Just a silence that wrote itself into my heart. I didn't feel the loss when the deal was done. I felt the weight lift off like setting down a girl. The fog pulled back and the road stretched out clear. And for the first time in years, I felt no fear. I pressed my hand to the dirt and bled, bought my freedom with the life ahead. Devil in the holler took what he was owed, and the lightest I ever felt was on that road. That's the oldest trick that darkness knows. Take the weight first and collect the debt when no one goes. Devil in the hollow, blood in the ground, freedom in the morning, hell in the sound. Sign my name in the dirt where the four roads meet. Never knew that losing could feel this sweet. Devil in the hollow. Different man. Everything I touched turned to gold in my head. The cards fell right, the whiskey tasted clean. I was the sharpest, the coldest I'd ever been. That's the oldest trick the darkness knows. Take the weight first and collect the debt when no one goes. Devil in the hollow, blood in the ground, freedom in the morning, hell in the sound. Sign my name in the dirt where the four roads meet. Never knew that losing could feel this sweet. Devil in the hollow. You don't feel the hook. That's why it bought around for strangers, had some whiskey in return. The music was playing and the smoke was thick and sweet, and for a little while I forgot what makes a man feel beat. I won 3 hands of cards and I laughed too loud. The kind of laugh that's trying to impress the crowd. The kind of laugh that's standing on a trapdoor floor and hoping no one notices it wasn't there before. One more drink to kill the doubt, but the doubt just drinks along with me now. I pour it full and drink it dry, but a shadow in the corner caught my eye. Whiskey and shadows in a late night bar, spending what you borrow to forget what you are. The lamplight swings, but that shadow don't move. There's something in the corner that's been watching you. Whiskey and shadows. I ordered one more and I told a good story about a man I used to be back in his former glory. The strangers laugh and clink their glasses high, and nobody noticed the shadow or the look in my eye. It wasn't there the first time that I looked, but it was there the second time, and that's what shook me. Whiskey and shadow in a late night bar, spending what you borrowed to forget what you are. The lamplight swings, but that shadow don't move. There's something in the corner that's been watching you. Whiskey and shadow. I know what I traded, and I know what it cost. I just thought I'd have more time before I paid for what was lost. But time don't negotiate, and debts don't wait. And that shadow in the corner, it don't need to be late. Bar, spending what you borrow to forget what you are. The lamplight swings, but that shadow don't move. There's something in the corner that's been watching you. Whiskey and shadow coming for you. sky above was doing something wrong. Clouds coming from the east where there weren't any clouds, and the silence underneath them like the end of a song. I rode for 2 more hours, but the landscape never changed. The same dead oak, the same gray fence, the same cracked clay. I have ridden roads before that felt like going nowhere, but this one felt like nowhere coming my way. Black smoke rolling on a clear blue sky. Something is coming, and I can't say why. No fire behind me, no storm I can name, just black smoke rolling and the road all looks the same. I felt this before, that shift in the air, when the world you know decides to go somewhere. Black smoke rolling, the sky gone wrong, everything familiar, but the feeling's gone. Something in the woodline watching me ride, and I can't shake the cold on the inside. Black smoke rolling. I tried to pray, but the words came out hollow. I tried to think, but the thoughts wouldn't stay. Something had reached inside the mechanisms of my mind and moved a single piece just far enough away. I felt this before, that shift in the air, when the world you know decides to go somewhere. Black smoke rolling, the sky gone wrong, everything familiar, but the feeling's gone. Something in the woodline watching me ride, and I can't shake the cold on the inside. Black smoke rolling. I made a deal and I thought it was done. I thought the ledger was closed, I thought I had won, but a deal like that ain't done. When you walk away, it's done when it comes to collect. And I think that's today. Black smoke rolling, the sky gone black. Something is coming, and it ain't coming back. Something in the woodline, step into the road, The storm broke hard and the sky came down, and I felt it in my chest before it reached the ground. This wasn't weather, this was something with a name, and the name it had was the same as my shame. I stopped my horse in the middle of the road, let the rain come down, and I set down the load. I was done with running, done with looking back, done with every story I told to cover every crack. Judgment Day don't knock and it don't call, it just rolls through the door and takes it all. I made my bed in the dark of the Crossroads dirt. Now I lie in it dressed in all this hurt. I won't beg and I won't run and I won't pray. I stand in the road and I face what's coming my way. Judgment Day is coming down the road, coming for the man who sold his soul, coming with the fire and the weight of years, coming for the blood and the unpaid tears. Judgment Day is here. I think of the town I left behind in flames, the faces I can't forget, and the unnamed names. I think of every crossroads, choice I made wrong, and I'll tell you this, I held it all too long. I won't beg and I won't run and I won't pray. I stand in the road and I face what's coming my way. Judgment Day is coming down the road, coming for the man who sold his soul, coming with the fire and the weight of years, coming for the blood and the unpaid tears. Judgment Day is here. I made the deal, I signed the name, I spent the freedom, I took the fame. I got what I asked for, I got what I was, and now Judgment Day gets what it was. Judgment Day came rolling down my road, came and took the man who sold his soul, came with all the fire and all the years. The storm passed through before the morning broke, and left the road the way a dream leaves when you woke. He was somewhere on the stretch between the dark and gray, and then he wasn't, and the road just stayed. His guitar was lying face down in the wet, the strings still holding the last note that he'd said. The wood was starting to fill with the morning rain, and the road had already forgotten his name. Nothing left but the road and the rain, and a guitar in the dust that still holds his name. The deal is done and the debt is paid, and the cold ground keeps what the crossroads made. This is how it ends for the men who ride, who carry too much on the wrong side. Cold ground, dark night, empty road, where a man once carried an impossible load. Cold ground, dark night, he's gone now. The road don't mourn and the road don't ask how. Cold ground, dark night. The sun will come up and dry the empty road. The dust will settle on the guitar that he rode with. Another man will pass this stretch one distant day, and feel a chill he can't explain, and ride away. This is how it ends for the men who ride, who carry too much on the wrong side. Cold ground, dark night, empty road, where a man once carried an impossible load. Cold ground, dark night, he's gone now. The road don't mourn and the road don't ask how. Cold ground, dark night. He came to the crossroads with nothing to lose. He left it the same way. There is no lesson here, there is no warning, there is only the road, and the road was here before him, and the road is here still, and the road is here still. Oh, cold ground, dark night, empty road, where a man once carried an impossible load. Oh, cold ground, dark night, he's gone now. Nothing left but the rain and the road. Cold ground, dark night. The road was here before him,